Hello, hello. Coming to you from Teddy the Airstream. It's a pretty cold day. It is about 10 degrees. That's with the Fahrenheit. And it's windy as heck. So, last night it was kind of cold. Sleeping. It's kind of a mess right now. But got all kind of blankets piled up. And so my wires from my solar panels out there and from the generator all convene through the window. I have the Airstream window open. It's about that much. And I have the plexiglass storm window that I made cracked open a little bit here. As you can see, it's freezing. Oh, hard. You can see it. Anyway, so I'm trying to seal it up a little because it is windy. I just have some plastic bags jammed in there for now. I mean, you put your hand there and it's considerably not as windy as it was. There's also bags on the outside of the window. But this is kind of my my generation station. Each solar panel, one solar panel is for Teddy. And that's the battery that's that comes with the Airstream. I got a new one. That's the charge controller for it. It dumps right into the fuse box, going directly into the battery. And the indicator light is blinking, means that it's fully charged. And then this side, that's a Remington. Is a little bit. I forget what model that is. 870, I think. That's the charge controller for these two batteries, and they're fully charged also. If you can see that. See it blinking? That means it's full. This right here is my FM. Verizon 4G booster. So it has an antenna up there facing that way. That's where the closest Verizon tower is, I found out through the interwebs. And so I have it pointing there, so when I want to upload videos, I actually have higher speed internet than so far any internet that I've seen in town. So it's a pretty cool device. I have one for Verizon and one for AT&T. I'm trying to get working for Brian the neighbor. So this is the inside. This is it's kind of a mess right now. I'm just redoing everything. That scrap down there is just glow in dark paint that fell off my ceiling condo, and I had it down my basement. It's a big thing of glow in dark paint. So let's see what else we got going on. Okay, so I think you can probably hear why I'm so worried, but I don't know why I'm insulating more, because it's windy as heck out here. It's beautiful, cold, and windy. So I'm trying to, let me show you the outside here, what I got going on. So this is where all the wires come into Teddy, and there's a bunch of bags holding it, stopping the air from whipping on in there. So it's mostly closed, but you know, bags actually did a lot. I'm surprised. I do want to get some kind of skirt for the side here, possibly. I mean, it seems like a lot of work, but it probably would do a lot because the floor is extremely cold. One thing I was thinking about, how to bypass all the wires. Right up here, there is a vent that is attached to a fan. I guess when you poop, you could suck in some clean air. So I'm gonna probably run the wires, take them out of there and run them through there, because I don't need the fan because I'm not using the factory toilet right now. So those are all my cow bones I found over there. Cow had a good life. I read her memoirs. Eddie's over there. This is just some scrap stuff. Scrap actually fabric from the yurt. I'm gonna insulate, you know, just like the battery box and the it's a mess up here. I'm kind of embarrassed. Around there, I mean, you can see right through here. That's where the refrigerator was. I'm gonna hook up the gas line. Used to see where I plugged it. The copper right there. That used to go from there up into there, and then into the propane. Como dice, refrigerator. Woo. So I'm going to try to have the gas line, so I don't have to do the propane tanks. I'm going to just use the big 30 in the front, and hopefully that'll last a little bit longer. So yeah, let me show you what's the inside, where that vent. It's really windy. That's where it comes out from the toilet. It goes into there, into that tube, and there's a fan right there, and so I could just disconnect it right there and have the wires come right there and insulate it. So that's pretty much an open. Okay, so I took out the little electric blower. The screws are pretty rotted. I guess so is the wood. But that's definitely a motor. It's a nice little 12-volt motor, air pump I could use for something. I'm not going to be using here. And I have now a direct hole going outside. So I am going to run wires right in there. I also thought I could use the vent going to the roof as maybe a way to get wires from the roof into here. Yeah, we'll see. So I'm going to start with this one and run some wires through there. I'm going to take out these bags here. I should probably just take off the screws first. Yeah, let me switch out the screwdriver. Alright, so take a screw out. Wow, you can see all the froth in it. It's really let me take out this one too. I don't want to bend this up too much. There's a tendency to crack, especially where you drill holes in it and any kind of pressure points on it. So I was thinking about making some kind of frame for these. They would look better, and it would probably hide any cracks, and also have a better look to it. Look nicer with a little trimming. So yeah, that's good enough there. I could open those a little. How did I do that? Oh, this thing. Yeah, so those are pulled out. So let me try to run some wires out there. I wish I had another person here. If anybody watching this can come out here real quick and give me a hand. No, I'm joking. I'm going to disconnect the solar panels. Disconnect it from the charge controllers. Pull all the wires. The extension cords are off. The the signal booster is, I might put it through there. Let's see where that's going to go. But for now, I'll probably just put it the same thing. Let's do it outside. These are very easy to disconnect. Quick disconnect there. Might not be able to do with one hand, but there we go. And just to disconnect the power, the batteries are actually full charge already, so I'm not really using much. Disconnect that. I didn't disconnect that one, but just to show you. Pull the bags out. Funny, I just put the bags in this morning. But it's working. So I'm going to try to fish these wires out very carefully without putting much pressure on the plexiglass. So I think it'd be easier from hand. So I'm going to disconnect the rest of these with my other hand. Sorry about the wind. It's cold. But you know, these connectors, the one I did with my one hand, this one is so tight. It's so hard to get out. They should come up with some kind of better design to attach wires like this. You know, it could be something easy to push in, snap, something big and click click, you know, not these tiny little. I hated that when I worked on cars. They have these big wiring plugs and these tiny little pins that run through them, or these little tabs that have to go get pushed in. So just a little complaint. Right Energy, if you're watching this, which, you know, with my millions of followers you probably are. That's a joke. Yeah, man, you might want to reconsider. Or, I mean, these are probably industry standards, so maybe I'll invent something and become a millionaire. Hey, like them apples. So, here are the connectors for the solar panel for Teddy. I believe it's the one that's closer to us, but here's something that I did for the connectors, kind of some hillbilly ingenuity here. There were connectors, I mean, right size clamps for a little eyelid in it. I clamped the wires in there, folded those over, and then these screws clamped down because it was just a wire and the wire was just pushing out and it was a bad connector, and so I kind of just rigged something. So they're working. So luckily it's nice and cold out when I'm doing this, because I kind of have to keep one hand out here and, you know, run the wires through. And it's so cold and my hand's numb and it stinks. But that's what you gotta do, you know. It's not all fun and games here. It's not all drone playing and running out with Eddie. It's working in your muck bucks. Ooh, man, this hand is cold. It's brick out. The hawk is out. Anybody know what that is? When you say the hawk is out, I think that's a Chicago term. So I'm going to go grab those and stick them in that thing. Woo. After I do the rest of them. So let me get working on the rest. You keep distracting me. Crazy kids. Alright, last one. This is the signal booster. Pop that right out there. Now I could hopefully get this nice and snug like a bug in a rug. That's what they used to say. They, as in my mother. But let's see. This righty tighty. I love these snap-on ratchets. Snap-on was the choice of tools for me in my mechanic days, so I still have a bunch. My color was always green, neon green. This one actually my buddy Eddie gave me. I guess pink isn't his color, but I like the bright colors, and they're always a lot easier to find when you're working on something. You know, black's good if you're trying to hide dirt, but you don't want this thing dirty anyway. It makes it slippery. Oh, there's a dog up there. Here's one more screw. Alright, so let me button this up. I could then close the outside window, and then I'm going to probably put something even over this. I want to stay warm! Remember that? Woo! Okay, so here we are underneath. I'm going to try to get the wires in there with one hand, which is always a lot more fun by yourself. Cold. All things that you should probably not want to do. Lord, help me. Oh, those wires are short. Alright, I'm going to have to rewire. Okay, so I took those are the two batteries that I had over there. I could clean this out. This is actually where I have the composting toilet. I had it when I was living here last year. So I put the two batteries there. I covered up the hole for the sewer. I know the sewer hasn't been used in years and years and years, so but just in case, just cover that up. I put some seals in there and stuff, so it's pretty sealed up. I put a box on top of the batteries just to eliminate any kind of contact metal to the top of the batteries. I put this box there, so I made a little shelf just to make that level. Put the charge controllers on there. I guess I have some extra storage in there for things that are not metallic. And so now I'm just reinstalling the wires. That way. Let's see that. And then that goes from there. And you tighten them. That's pretty much it. And those wires, you can see the first one, I might move those. See, it's got the red connectors, so that's for that one. But the other one, I don't think the wires are long enough. So, but as you can see, they're just on some rocks over the frames. They don't even shake when the wind blows. So that's all I need for now. So luckily I didn't attach them anywhere, because now I could just move them. I'm going to move it a little closer, just so the wires all hook up. But I think I could do the wires now. And then just see where they go from there. So, again, these are not connected over there. These are just empty wires, so I don't have to worry about, you know, zapping them or anything. They don't do anything. Probably wouldn't want to do too much with that, but... Alright, let me finish this up. I just realized I ran all the wires through the door, and now I can close the door. So I definitely want to close the door. It's another barrier for insulating. You know, it's an air pocket. I'm going to just put like luggage and old clothes in there just to have some DIY insulation. But I'm going to take the wires apart and run them through that vent that was next to the toilet, so you don't even see any of the wires, and nice and hidden. So it's going from this to this. So much neater. I can now close that door. So I clean up a little in there. But I'm going to clog up that hole with some Insulating. First I'm going to run the cable for the generator. Yeah. And then I actually, I could split it. The other cable goes to the yurt, which I don't really need anymore. So I'm going to have one cord from the Jen the generator. Everybody knows Jen the generator. She's running on propane these days. She's healthy, she's fit, and she's lean. And I'm going to probably have to change her oil soon. So I'll definitely record that. So let me go move around the solar panels, and it's definitely getting a little warm in here. Oh, one thing. Tell me that doesn't look like a gopher. Right, where's my finger? Ooh, there's my finger. Right there. Doesn't it look like it's a gopher sticking out? One other thing, as I was filming, this happened. Just no respect.